Hey y'all, it's Ruth Ann. I get asked all the time about running CMAs, so I decided to make a little video here so everybody can see how I do them. A couple things to note, you can do them for multiple reasons. One, if you're on the buyer side, you want to make sure that the offer that you're submitting is going to meet appraisals. You don't want to over offer and then have to go through that mess of an under appraisal. And you also just don't want to go way under and not win the offer if there's multiple offers. So, if you're doing it for a listing, you're going to do it a little bit of a different way. You're going to come up to search, public records, and then find the subject property. You obviously want to do it for listings so you can decide what price to set when you're going on the listing. So, because most of our newer agents are coming in and working with buyers first, I'm going to do this from the buyer's view. All right, so I found a subject property that I want to use. It's 420 Hillen Road. I actually chose this property because it's been on the market for 69 days. Reason why, it's grossly overpriced. I noticed that as soon as I saw it. My parents happen to live in that neighborhood, and I know none of the homes there go for more than 500,000. So you better believe I laughed like crazy when I saw they listed this at 750. Okay, you can see now it's on the market for 550 69 days later and has not sold. So why not run a comp on this one? Or run comps on this one. So first thing you want to do is go down to that print button and you're going to do agent full and you're going to print a PDF. The reason for this, it's much easier to have the subject property right there waiting for you on the right. Another way to do that, if you so choose, is to just open up another tab, open up Bright MLS again, and put in the subject property. Some people prefer this method because then you can scroll through the photos when you need to. Me, I like to scroll through the photos first before I even get to that. So it's not such a big deal, but we'll do it this way. All right, there is the subject property. So let's open that up. I'm going to go ahead and X out my agent full. So now I have it here. You can start by taking a look at the subject property. As you can see, it's been refinished. It has those vinyl plank flooring in the gray color with gray painted walls, just like you see everywhere. But you'll notice these are paneled walls. They might have replaced the flooring and some of the hardwares and the doors, but it looks like they left a lot of the older touches here and just painted. So you can see the built-ins. This one does have a little extra sunroom on the side. You can see the radiator heat there. So keep in mind this says radiator heat. The kitchen's been redone. You can see the white subway tiles, the white shaker cabinets with the black hardware and stainless steel appliances and black stone countertops. There's another built-in from that time. You're going to see it in all the comps too. They did update the lighting. But otherwise, they did some touches, but a lot of stuff they left original and just kind of made look better. So let's keep on going here. Oh, look at that board and batten on the or in the mudroom. That's a nice touch. But otherwise, it looks like a lot of this, those are nice window treatments, but the rest of it has the normal blinds and such. So they did some upgrades, but a lot of this is just paint and new flooring. That is a refinished bathroom. That's definitely not original, except for the tub looks original and obviously the radiator. But new sink, new other fixtures, new tile. For some reason, they added a second kitchen upstairs in this one. So you can see that here. It's got the same subway tile. It's got a lighter gray stone countertops. Same white shaker cabinets with black details. So I'm guessing they kind of made the upstairs an in-law suite or, made it so that somebody could break it up and rent it out since this is a college town in Towson. Brand new tile here in the bathroom. Again, I think that's the same old bathtub, just reglazed. These are newer here. Newer light fixture. This is the upstairs laundry. So that's what makes me think they're trying to possibly make this so that it's 2 units in a sense. And this is the downstairs. And it looks like the original built-ins are there. They painted over some of the wood paneling. It's a newer bathroom. Definitely newer. And there's the second washer and dryer, which is again why I think possibly this is trying to be used as a 2-unit by somebody eventually, or maybe it was previously. So that's our subject. Now that you've seen that, let's get back to it. So I'm going to go back to results, and right down here it says CMA, click on that. So you can add your contacts information here by putting in their first and last name and their email, or you can be lazy, aka energy efficient like me, and enter your own information and put my clients. So here you're going to put the property address. Okay, the reason you're doing that is so when you look at the list of CMAs you've done, you can find it pretty easily. Otherwise, it's going to cause you a little bit of a headache later. So here in pages, it has available pages on the left and the ones you've selected to be part of your CMA on the right. In order to see what's under each of these categories, you hit the little plus button there to the left, and it'll drop down multiple ones that you can choose from. Once you choose one, you hit a little button that'll pop up here to an arrow to put it over here. And then once it's over here, you can select it and move it up or down or take it out with the X. Once you have this set up the way you want it, hit set as default. And that way, anytime you open this up, just like you saw mine popped up, yours will too. So let's go on over to subject. In here, if you were doing the listing, you didn't have an MLS ID, you'd put the tax ID there on the bottom. But since we're doing the MLS ID, wait, I had something else there. So let me go back and get the MLS ID. That's why I always have another one open with it. It's going to help you in the long run. All right, I'm going to fill that in. Okay, so then you just want to make sure that all of this information is correct and it's the right property. You don't want to pull this up and see a completely different one. That would not work out well for you. So go down, check, make sure you got the correct number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, also known as squootage by my hilarious clients. Make sure it's correct with public sewer, public water, the taxes are right, detached, excellent condition, Cape Cod, great. All right, so going over to cover, this is what's going to show on the cover page. You can put in address information here for your clients, but me, I'm doing this just for fun, so let's keep it moving. All right, comparables is the whole reason why we're doing this. You can add from tax, or you can add from listings, or you could do both. When you first pop it up, you'll notice the address came over. We want to clear that out. All right, so location is the #1 determinator of stuff for pricing. So let's put in as much as you can and be specific, because sometimes there's multiple roads with the same name. Alrighty, and there we go. So now I'm going to come out a little bit. Oftentimes I'll just do a radius, but since I know this area, I know that different neighborhoods go for different amounts of money. Neighborhood we want is right here. It's called Greenbrier. So I'm going to select just that neighborhood so I have as exact as a price as I can get. All right, so it's blue, it's ready, it's good. So I'm going to hit the OK button. And it says right there, map area selected. I know it worked. All right, scroll down. I don't want coming soon or active. I only want what has closed because I know it's actually going to make it through the appraisal process and all. So looking at that, we got 5 matches. Another thing that's very important is the year built. So this was 1947. I want to go 10 years before and 10 after. So 1937 to 1957. It's detached, very important again. And we still have 5 matches. That's awesome. So this is a Cape Cod style. So I'm going to come down to style and choose Cape Cod. I still have 5. All right, we want to do ones, since this has 4 bedrooms, or let's do 3 plus. That way we're not limiting ourselves. And then 2 plus. Okay, that took us down to 4. So let's take a look at our results right there. All right, so it's kind of hard to tell what you're working with from this view. So I'm going to go over to agent thumbnail for my display, and now I can see a little bit more. So we're going to go into each property and see what we got. So this does have the original floors, but I'm not discounting that because hardwood floors cost twice as much to put in as that luxury vinyl flooring. So I'm not going to say that this won't work as a comp. It does have more of an original fireplace that hasn't been updated, but the walls are all a nice color. I don't care about the decor. That doesn't matter. That's not part of this. So try your best to ignore that. There you go. There's those original built-ins we saw in the other property. It does have the older fixtures, some older decor. These might be original cabinets, possibly, but they look well maintained. The hardware on them is okay. The appliances are a little bit older, although I do see stainless steel here. But it has the nice stone countertops, a newer sink. It has nice newer backsplash. So this kitchen has been redone, even though it may not have the most desirable stove or microwave. Those can be replaced. It does have a stainless steel fridge, a pantry, and the nice subway tile still goes around. You can paint, you can pull down wallpaper. I'm not letting that deter me. All right, so let's keep on going. Upstairs, it looks like those are the original ugly fans, but that's okay. A little paint could really brighten this up, and taking off those window treatments would make this much better. You can see peeking through those original hardwoods, and they're probably in very good condition. So that's not a bad thing. I'm going to keep on rolling, seeing a lot of the same. Okay, that is definitely original bathroom. I can tell by the tile, but looks like this is a newer pedestal sink that they've added and possibly newer shower doors. Okay, this is the original basement, but it has at least been finished. It's got carpeting and walls. So even though it's wood panel and it's ugly and it's old, it is technically finished. Could just use a little paint. And here's the unfinished side. Basement, so no big deal. Decent sized yard. Does have a little parking pad. So overall, it's not a perfect comp. It's definitely not near as updated as the other one, but it's decent. So I'm going to keep that one on there. All right, this one's right down the street from my parents. And let's see what we got. Parking pad, check. Okay, so again, the original hardwoods, but this home's been well maintained. That's a newer fireplace around, newer front door, newer light fixtures I can see. Again, there's cabinets that we've seen in all of them. Newer ceiling fan back there, you could see that's newer. I mean, maybe not our decade, but at some point it was replaced. These are definitely newer tiles. I can't tell if that bathtub's just been reglazed or not, but that's definitely a newer pedestal sink. The kitchen's been redone. It's got an apron sink, real stone countertops, the shaker white cabinets, and the black detailed hardware. I see stainless steel appliances, beautiful wood beams put in for decor, and a nice little peninsula there. So some upgrades. You can see this barn door here. So this house isn't necessarily original. Some of it is, some of it is not. This has been redone. This bathroom upstairs, so the basement, you can see they just painted the wood paneling. That's still the wood paneling basement, but painted. The floor, it's either linoleum or tile, but they just put down area rugs to make it a little bit nicer and brighten it up with some either recessed lighting or smaller ceiling lighting. This has been refinished, so I think this is a very good comp. I'm going to keep that one on. Okay, next one. Okay, right off the bat. This one needs some cosmetics, so the flooring, this is definitely original, old, and ugly. Same with that wallpaper back there. You see those built-ins, though. You recognize them from everyone we've done. That is a newer front door, very nice door. But the rest of this has definitely not had any updates, probably since it was built. Although this kitchen looks like it may have been slightly updated at some point. Those are definitely newer appliances, but that is the old, I don't know what it's actually called, plastic E type countertops. And those might be original cabinets, but I don't think they are. I think those were replaced probably in the 90s because that's got like a nice detail to it too. So this is like somewhat updated. Again, the beautiful gleaming original hardwoods. It definitely needs some cosmetics. Those are newer fans, newer track lighting. The carpeting and decor, not great. That is the original bathroom. This may have been replaced and possibly these doors, but the rest of this looks kind of older. There was originally a bathtub there, so they made it into a shower. This is older, but very old up here, but I'm not sure that this is necessarily original. I feel like this might have been put in like the 70s or 80s maybe. Okay, so this one's not quite as updated. It's a decent comp, but not great. Again, the basement, wood paneling, I mean, it needs some love. It does have a second, I don't know if I'd call that a kitchen. It's more of a work area. So I don't know that this is the greatest comp. This one I think I'm going to pull off because I don't really like it for this property. Okay, and then we got one more to look at. So again, it's a little bit older decor, but beautiful hardwoods, decent paint job, not too shabby, older lighting fixtures, somewhat older kitchen. See a couple things have been updated, probably in the 80s or 90s again. Not original, but also not up to date necessarily. Okay, again, the hardwood floors are nice. The paint is fine. It's just the decor that's making it look kind of bad. This has been redone, so that's not the original bathroom. Very nice tile shower done. Newer ceiling fans put in up here and the gorgeous hardwoods throughout the top level. I mean, this one's still pretty nice. There are some older things like the kitchen, and then this bathroom is probably original too, except for that pedestal sink. Somewhat finished basement. I mean, it's finished. It's got carpeting and walls. So it's not the best comp ever, but it's a decent. I'm going to keep it on there because, I mean, I want options in the neighborhood, and that does give me 3 comps. So you'll notice the one that is the closest to the finishings of the subject property is right here in the middle at 416 Brook. But I also want you to notice it also has less bedrooms and bathrooms. So surprise, surprise, sometimes that number of bedrooms and bathrooms isn't the best indicator of pricing. In this one's case, the best priced one in here that I think is the closest to our subject was the one for $491,000. All right, so while these aren't perfect comps in, a better world, I would have something a little more exact. This is what we have in that neighborhood, and I'm going to stick with it. So looking at the map, it just shows us where they all are. Whoop, hold on. Looks like I didn't add my comps in. Let me go back real quick. Add from listings, results. I missed a step. So that step is adding these in, and I can't do it at this view, so let me go back. Alrighty. I want to add this one. I want to add that one because I like that one for this. Do not want that third one, but I do want this last one. So the spot I missed was that add selected button there, but now you see how to fix it. So I want to take off the subject property from this part, and the reason why, let's go see if this worked. Yep, there we go. Now I'm on the map, and there's the properties. Adjustments. We are not appraisers, so we are not going to mess around with that. Pricing, here you go. Shows you 410 is the minimum, 491 was the maximum. There's your median and average and the count. So if you come over to finish, I don't ever email the CMA. The reason why is I want to go over that with my people. On the listing side, I'm going to view it and then print it up for myself and give them a copy when I go meet them for the listing appointment and say, hey, here's what I came up with. Here's why I came up with it, and go through the whole report with them. If it's a buyer, I want to also, again, go through that report with them and say, hey, I think we should offer this much, and here's why. As far as this property goes, I would say to them, I think we need to offer at least $491, looking at the finishes of the property on the subject, and then the property comparables we found. And I would show them each one and say, look at these, look at the finishes. This is kind of why I think we need to land here. So this shows you here what your report's going to look like. From here, you can download it using that button, and it downloads a PDF version, or you can print it right there. So do what's going to work for you. But there's your cover, there's your subject, here's your subject description, here's your map, here is the summary of comps. So it goes over the addresses, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage, price per square foot, when it closed. It even has on here the list price and the closed price. So I think that's something really important to discuss with your clients. That one was listed at $465 and it has one less bedroom, but it went for $491. The other two went for asking, but this one gave away $4,000 in seller concessions. So those are really important things to mention. And then if you look down here, you're going to look at the days on the market. That high one sat for 19 days, but look what they did. They got a lot of money for it. So maybe it was worth it. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I lied. I'm looking at the wrong thing. That high was the highest number of days on the market. I knew that was off because when you get down here, you'll see that. So that sat for the least amount of time. My apologies. The one with the lowest price sat the longest. It was also the least updated. This one here in the middle, the one that was the most updated, only sat for 5 days and it went for way more than asking. And then the bottom one went for 11 days. So it's not too bad. Pricing recommendation, this goes over, the average, the median, the high, again, just in case people want to look at it, and then look at the square footage facts. All right, benefits of using a professional realtor. Yeah, this is important. I always put it in every packet. I want them to know what my value is. This discusses what a CMA does and, tells them what's for sale, what's recently sold, why we chose that location. It's got to be within the past few months, et cetera, et cetera. This discusses where commission goes. I think that's important for everyone to know because they seem to think that we make too much money. Well, if you break it down for them, if I'm charging you 6% to list your home, half of that's going to go to the buyer's agent, half of that to myself. So now I've got 3%. Well, 30% of that's going to go to my broker. So now we're down to, a little bit over 2%. And then I explained to them I have to pay for the marketing. I have to pay to put this on the MLS, all those subscription fees. I have to pay for professional photography. I have to pay to have a post installed. So you're kind of selling why you're going to charge them 6%. So I think that's an important thing to have. And then down here, it discusses, obviously the seller wants the highest price possible. The buyer wants the lowest price, and somewhere in the middle is where you want to meet. So that just kind of goes over that. And that, my friends, is how you run a CMA. If you have any questions, please reach out.